Welcome to another episode, another show of ATB Season X. That is Roman numeral for 10. And I know it's a Roman numeral for 10 because I'm joined by an Italian, that being Stephen, to your right. How are you, mate?
Let me just show that. Number 10. It's all about the 10 at the moment. So there you go.
Trincarista. Is that what you said?
Trequartista.
Sorry, I'm trying to say with the proper dialect and the accent. You're just doing it Anglo, but that's cool. No doubt. Anyways. I am okay. I'm recovering from somewhat a cold. I did have a bit of a head cold yesterday. I got sent home in the afternoon. No, it's not Rona. I've done about 3 tests since then, so I'm all good and well. I'm feeling much better. Yes, the common cold is still a thing, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not.
Shocked.
Who would have thought? Shocked, I tell you. Well, not that shocked. Quote Fry from Futurama. But what was shocking, Steve, we'll get right to it. We don't want to harp on for too long. It's just us two, by the way, as if you couldn't tell already. We had a shocking win away to Adelaide, first and foremost, because we did not expect to win that game. I think you and I both said I didn't expect to win anything. You didn't expect to win anything. And yet we come away with a 2-1 win somehow away at Hindmarsh.
Yeah, I got the away goals. I'm going to harp on about this away goal rule for the next half an hour that we talk about this. They scored first, didn't they? I believe.
Yes, they. Well, cracker free kick as well, and we thought that was the end.
First. And we thought that's it, done. But somehow the second half we just came back. We did not expect a result. I think I can't remember what I said last week. Maybe a smash and grab. That's what we could hope for, and it kind of played out that way. Man, this team is like Jekyll and Hyde, eh? Like we do a good performance against Sydney, like a really good performance, despite the fact how Sydney were, and then we become like absolutely rubbish against MacArthur, and then we pull out this game against Adelaide, and we do a great away win. This is like a great away win. Like forget about the next game. We'll talk about the next game as well, but to come away from 1-0 down at half time, then come back 2-1 to finish it. I don't know how we got it, but somehow we got the win, and you take them right when they come, and you hope that we can build from it. The second game obviously ended up 0-0, but it was still positive signs. Disappointing. We could have won that in the first 25 minutes. That game too.
It could have. It was a bit of a smash and grab. I suppose with the way we started the game, you would have probably thought, okay, this is a little bit different. Remember I said it depends on who starts how. If we start defensively and Adelaide on the offense, well, then that's the game plan. So soak up pressure and hit them on the counter-attack. But it didn't seem to be that bad because we were getting forward a few times. It didn't really have anything to really go by. And I believe it was our one shot on target in that first half at least was the goal that Nazarene ends up scoring. Which is odd because we normally take 5 shots on target before we even maybe think about scoring one. And evidently it was our one shot and our one goal. So I can't really argue there. Second half, though, was much better. We've been known to sort of capitulate and collapse in the second half of matches, but it seems that this game in particular was a little bit different. And, I mean, in terms of the lineup that we had as well, it was, I think you mentioned in our group chat, but altogether it was changed because there was no way we were going to play the same sort of team again consistently. As much as maybe Rudin wants to, I just don't think it's possible to be playing the same 11, every 3-4 days.
No, you can't. That's why you have a squad, mate.
Yep.
So actually, I was wrong. Yeah, it was 1-1. You corrected me. It was 1-1 at half time. I can't remember who the second goal was. Oh, Kankar. That's right.
Kankar, Marcella. I couldn't remember who it was.
Awesome, but it got given to Kankar because he bounced off his foot.
Yep.
Yeah, they were great 2 goals, and yeah, it was a smash and grab. The first 20-25 minutes, we were over the place. We couldn't get out of our half. We couldn't put 2 passes together. And yeah, they got that great free kick. They almost got a carbon copy one not much after that as well. But yeah, you're right. Somehow Nazarene finally scores his second goal in A-League or something ridiculous. That the guy's been around for a number of years now. So that tells you something. And then he almost missed it. He went for the nutties, and his goalkeeper got a touch to it.
Just.
I think that was also when playing out from the back goes wrong as well. I think there was a bit of that happening for that goal from memory. But yeah, all you can say from this game is smash and grab away and take the victory and move on. I think that's what you can take from it. It was much better performance second half, which I think Rudin definitely ripped into them at halftime when they're not going with a game plan in the first half. He said as much in the MacArthur press conference. I don't know if I talked about it last week that he just was like, "What the hell are these guys doing?" sort of thing. They're not following the game plan. They're reverting to bad habits. They're not. No one wants to shoot. They're too scared. They want to walk it in. All this sort of stuff. So he rips into them at halftime and makes changes if required, which is what you expect your manager to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan said that he
It's
doesn't think the nutmeg was intentional,
yeah,
but
probably an accident, but it
it
went in, man. It went
probably
in.
tried to chip him, but he completely misfired. But we
It
take
went
whatever
in,
we can
but
get, right?
take it. I was surprised, man. We ended up because when we conceded that free kick, remember in our group chat, I said, I'm considering turning it off already. It was like, what, the 10th minute? I'm just like, I don't want to watch this. I just don't want to see us get pumped 3-0 in the first half and then just try and hold on for dear life in the second. But it didn't turn out too bad. The way the first half ended, the way the second half started, the way obviously the second half ended again. Yeah, and you're not playing against slouches like you can see. Clough, he was actually pretty decent, making runs through. Brook was absolutely tearing us to shreds in the was it second half at least? Was it first half or the second half? Just on Sunday, like on that left side, just absolutely tearing them to shreds. They had a good one there. He was missing because of Socceroos camp, and now he can't play because he's got the Rona.
No, it's
Dorigo.
close contact.
Oh, close
Is it?
contact. Well,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
he's got it now apparently. So
Oh, does he? Oh, there you go. So
apparently. Kiddo at right back, Jacobson, Bar, Lopez, and then you've got Gauchi in goal, who had to pull off a few saves. But I mean, let's be real here. I mean, the squad we started with isn't too bad. I don't know, maybe because it's Wanderers bias showing, but it just looks like we just have better players in certain positions, and yet we still can't make it work.
Man, that's been the story of our last 5-6 years, right? On paper, we've had great players, and just as a team, we've just been rubbish. Rudin is finally trying to get something out of him. I still every week it's a different. It looks like he's settled on his back four at the moment. Or the wing backs obviously got rested for Sunday because he had just purely because of the workload. And he said as much, which is understandable. But the front three just keeps changing every week because he can't find a combination that works. Bini started this week with Petrados and Nazarene. That lineup's completely wrong. Whatever this graphic you're trying a 4-4-2. There's no way we played a 4-4-2. It was more like a 4-3-3, like always. And man, I feel like I'm a broken record with his front three. Attack just seems rubbish.
We all are. We all are broken records. Same thing.
We just have no one to put the chances away, no one to create chances. It's just not happening. And it showed on Sunday, right? Like how many chances have no one put it away.
Well, in saying that, you're funny you say that. If we check out the stats right here, look at that: 8 shots, 3 on target. One of them, well, 2 of them being the goals, and one of them maybe was a save or something, like nothing doing. But you can see we were just outplayed overall. Committed a few more fouls, got a few more yellows. Pretty much on par. You probably think, okay, maybe that should have been a draw. Arguably, maybe say Adelaide gets the win, but they didn't. We got the points there. But the thing is, as well, it doesn't really bode well for us because we've got all these players in the starting 11. Like, what do we say during the game on Sunday? Like, Petrados will go to like MacArthur next season or something and be scoring bombs from outside the box
against us.
A Beanie might go to another team and see him be a 10-15 sees a goal a season striker, for example. Touch wood. And it's like, why don't these things happen for us? Why do they happen against us in a way? Are we maybe just cursed or something?
It's too much.
Still,
there's no pressure at these other smaller clubs. That's why they could score. There's no one heckling them. I don't know. Like it's just really strange, and it's going to be the bane of our season. Leading into this game, maybe we're saying that we needed 6 points, otherwise the season's done, right? So we got 4 points, which is pretty good because Adelaide's, I think, third or something like that. So we're still mathematically way in their mix because we've still got a couple games in hand compared to others like Sydney above us, and we're only like 3 points behind them. So we're definitely in the mix. But you're playing these games now that we're aiming for 5th and 6th. So there's a table right there. Adelaide's on 28 points. We're on 19 points, but they've got 2 games in hand. 6th place is Melbourne Victory. They're on 24 points. So they're only 5 points ahead of us, and they've played less games than us, so don't worry about them. Sydney, the same thing. They're 5 points, 1 game more than us. So it's all over the place because the matches played. And so we're still definitely in the mix. And you look at that table, pretty much everyone's in the mix except Perth at the moment because they just haven't had the results at home, which is really strange. But
Interesting
yeah,
comment here.
West Sydney Football says Rudin is going to cut everyone in attack except maybe Nazarene and Charisi. Or Charisi, I think he's injured after
Has
all
to
the.
be disappeared.
Yeah, but he mentioned it in the press conference. He said something. He mentioned Rodwell or Charisi or something like that, saying, "Oh, we got these good players to come back," sort of thing. And he actually mentioned Charisi. I remember hearing him somewhere. So he's not. I don't think he's getting the treatment. I think he's getting he's on the treatment table.
I
So
forgot about the treatment. He's
yeah,
actually injured, not getting fake injured. Out 1 week, out 1 week, out 1 week. He's not getting those ones.
it's rather frustrating for us as fans to not know why these players haven't been playing for 4 weeks, right? Like especially Charisi and Rodwell. They were playing great when they were playing, and then suddenly they're not selected. They're not on the bench. So we don't know what's happening. They're in the stands. It's like, can you at least release a statement saying latest status of players or Charisi update? Every other club in the world does update. As soon as someone gets taken off the field, they do an update within a few hours, and then update the next day when they go to the doctor. Right? This is the update. Chiesa did an ACL. He's out for 12 months. Damn. so like things like that. So it'd be very helpful. I know they like to play things close to their chest and not tell people, but man, this football, people want to know what's happening with these players. It's really annoying. West Indian football says they used to do match day squads in midweek when injuries were included in it. Now we get nothing. Well, that's where the meme comes from. Like Bridge injured 1 week ankle injury, like 12 weeks.
Massively. Ethan says, at what point do we give Swivel a shot 5 goals in 2 games? Is that like for the reserve team or something? Because I haven't.
Must be NPL 2. There's a big difference between NPL 2 and A League. But you're right. If no one's scoring, well, why aren't we giving him a shot? Like,
give him a go, give him a crack.
So I saw a tweet during the week that with all the chances we had in Sunday, someone said, I imagine getting these chances with Santalab, Bridge, or Riera, and we would have been up. We would have been up 2-3-0 by 25 minutes.
Riera would be scoring goals for fun.
Even Santalab or Bridge, right? They took those chances, and especially in the first few years, or Santa even for longer than that. And it makes you wonder, like, yeah, we had those guys that weren't prolific goal scorers, like compared to other ones in the league, like Bridge and Santa, like, but they just scored goals for fun for us at times. It's crazy. They put those chances away. I don't know what's happening with our front. For like again, Hammond's useless on the pitch, does nothing. Ogawa likes to always cut back and stuff up chances. Nazarene doesn't want to shoot, and when he does, he's lucky he scored finally. Petrados is not shooting at all. What's going on, man? There's like all these guys on paper, like you said, just nothing's coming for it. Like,
didn't what's his name? Rudin say like they're not shooting, they're afraid to shoot or something to that effect? Because if that is the case, what's wrong with the players? Is there still like the ghost of Popovich at play or something here? Like, don't shoot.
This guy's like 4 generations removed from Popovich, like in terms of how many plays.
Why are we not shooting? Why aren't we shooting at goals? We should be shooting at goal. It's the whole point. How the hell do you score?
At least under Robertson last year, they shot for fun, and we had like 20 shots a that game and all this sort of stuff. But you also had strikers like Kamal, Duke, Yaboa, Ibini. Like these guys were just shooting all the time. They got a lot more chance. For some reason, because I remember Robertson didn't like Josh's question about our attack and all that. He goes, "I dispute that. We had the most shots than any other team and all this sort of stuff. It was just our defense that was a letdown last year, not our attack, because we scored 4 or 5 goals a game, right? So what do you do now?
Same thing. Nothing's changed. Well, this was the lineup for the return leg. Of course, we won the away leg 2-1, so we take the match back to Wonderland, back to Parramatta, and it's 2-1. It ended up finishing 0-0. It could have gone any which way, but I do believe they came closest to scoring if it wasn't for Traore, who was outstanding, even playing with half an injury, clearing a ball off the line. And we had a few chances as well. Gauchi made a few good saves for Adelaide United, so we can't really take too much away from that. But overall, it was a pretty much even affair. As you can see, the lineup was changed. Antonis come into it. Traore came back into his left back position. Kankar and Manchella remain as centre back pairing. Aquilina was there. Nazarene started again. Ibini down the middle, and Ogawa coming into this one. So Petrados dropping to the bench. in this game in particular. But you mentioned Hemmed there because, as I think WSF says, I mean, Rudin tried Ibini and getting balls over the top, which he did run away from a couple of times. There were a few chances in that first half when you were still making your way through that didn't really catch on. I think with a bit more, half a second to get a jump on him, maybe would have got there in time. But I could see what they were playing at. But he says they tried Hemed, he's too slow, can't hold up the ball. Swibble might replace Sabini trying the same balls over the top. Where Swibble is quicker and he does look like a stockier player than Abini, then why not play the same tactic but put him in place?
We got to lose, right?
Nothing really.
It's like I think our weakest part of our game right now is a final third. It's pretty obvious. We're not putting our chances away. We're not creating chances, let alone putting them away. It's half chances don't mean anything. And I'm not even going to talk about XG and all that sort of rubbish. But it's just like we're not even putting chances away. Or it's I wasn't at the stadium for the first 20 minutes on Sunday, but I was watching it on my phone as I walked to the stadium, and we had enough chances to score a couple of those goals. Another striker would have put him away. I don't know. And it seems like Abini, when he's going for these one-on-one, like these 50-50 balls, he seems to pull out. Not like, you notice that? He doesn't commit. Yeah. He goes, oh, I'm gonna kind of go for it. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna pull out. I'll let you win the ball.
Just kidding. It's all yours,
like,
bro. It's all yours.
Go for it. You're a big boy, man.
Commit, bro.
Just
stick that leg out.
And make the goalkeeper second guess himself. Make the defender second guess himself. You can't just let them just run rings there. Just like dominate the area. It's
making it happen. Too easy for him. Way too easy for him.
It's really frustrating. And I feel like we're missing a bit of that up front. We missed the good old days of a yellow card and a goal from Santa. So that sort of stuff. We didn't have that person defending from the front properly anyway.
Is this a fair comment? He perhaps doesn't want to collide with the goalkeeper, possibly risk getting sent off if that's the case. I've seen that happen to some players in other leagues around the world.
Yeah, but
you're a striker, they should be there.
Are we going to miss anything if he gets sent off?
Well, we'll be a player down. That's one thing.
But so what? I feel like
well, some would argue we're a player down when the beanie starts, anyways. So some would argue.
I'm gonna flip it a bit, Nick. I'm gonna talk about my Gush for a little bit. I feel like he's actually grown a lot in the last few weeks. I noticed it in on Sunday. He was actually commanding the area a lot more and actually catching the crosses and the corners. Whereas previously, like last year, he used to just flap it and try and punch it out. He didn't have that confidence. I feel like his command of the area is growing. He's only young, don't forget. He's only like 23 or something. So, and last year was his first full season. I feel like he's definitely I'm seeing an improvement in him in how he commands everything and his way about things. So whether that's got something to do with the guys like Marcello in front of him, like a senior guy in front of him compared to last year when we had like McGowan in front of him, and it might play a part, but number one spot's his to lose now, right? I mean, he's gone in the season for sure. There's no point.
Yeah, we had that discussion. We had the discussion at the game. We thought there's no chance Mejias is going to remain there. He's taken up a visa spot that could be going towards a centre back, a midfielder, a striker. That if there was ever a chance you were going, or ever a player you were going to keep as a visa spot, that was Lopar. But obviously he left because of the whole no payment situation with the lockdowns and all that sort of crap. And that got left to Mejias, and it just doesn't look like a proper goalkeeper. For me personally, he's too skinny for a goalkeeper. He doesn't look like he's commanding enough. At least Maragusha has got like a bit of thickness in his legs. It looks like he's actually got a bit of like some brute force behind him, and he does actually have that. Now, don't clip this. Don't say I'm making the direct comparison because I'm not. But he almost gives me Kovic vibes where he sort of like looks at certain players at things and starts yelling and he's huffing and puffing and all that sort of stuff, which is what you want from your goalkeeper. You want your goalkeeper to be absolutely like just seething at the defense for missing something or not making something happen, or trying to say like hurry up, move faster or something so you can start a counterattack or something to that effect, right? I just see it in his face. It's got that meanness in him.
I dispute the whole skinny thing because like guys like Van der Sar and Kalac weren't big either, mate. They were skinny too.
Mate, we're talking about A-League quality. We're not talking about Premier League, Ajax, World Cup, Manchester United. We're not talking about that, okay? for us in particular, personally, I don't know, man. It's just a personal thing. The reason why I say it is, as you said, like he's been demanding in the box. A skinnier goalkeeper, they'll probably get calls go their way because they always get calls go their way when they go to jump and take a ball. And referees almost always going to favor them and say, "Oh, foul against the goalkeeper, free kick for the defensive team, whatever." I just think a stockier goalkeeper has a bit more strength behind them, and they're not afraid to get their body into motion. It's not to say that they're a shit goalkeeper. It just gives you the appearance as well. Like you have a more solid person behind the sticks. For me personally, it gives me the appearance that there's a little bit more about them instead of just trying to stop a shot. They're actually a bit more commanding. Whereas some other goalkeepers, they're just absolute freaks and they fly around all over the place and they save next to everything.
Yeah, and if they're a bit more solid, it makes people like me, Beanie, second guess himself coming in for those challenges, right? So
yeah.
I was gonna say West Indian football is pretty much summed up similar to what I was gonna say. Before I read his comment out, I was gonna say when you think about the goals we concede, not many of them are Margush's fault. Even last year, right? They're not like clear errors from the goalkeeper, except from the fact that West Indian football says if Margush stops rushing out and getting chipped, then we can save the salary cap and foreign spots, just keeping Margush and the NPL keeper Wachowski next year, which it'd be very hard pressed now to have a case of getting another foreign keeper when Margush
I'd be so opposed to it.
a decent job last year and a decent job this year. Unless a quality Australian keeper is on the market, what would you like? I think we should be spending the foreign spots on another centre back because Gordon is not going to last either the way he's going. And like a centre mid in an attacking mid or something like that, right? So that's what we need to focus on in the off season because goalkeeper's not it. I don't think that's our weakest spot. Definitely not. I think our defense is definitely getting better. It's definitely the attacking third where we're lacking. It's funny how we were already talking about next year. We've like given up.
Season's a write-off, man. It's no point.
It's like...
There's no point this season. But Aussie A says a fun fact: Mejias once saved a Wayne Rooney penalty.
Did he save it or did Rooney hit the crossbar?
Did he score the tap in after or something like that? I don't know. Was it like a save and then they scored? Because that's technically a save. Like Kovic against Del Piero, Derby 1 saves a penalty, but he scores on the rebound. Like still technically a save, but you concede. But yeah,
does he get the assist?
I don't know what he does. Let's go to some feedback because look, we're a few rounds in now. What are we? 5 rounds, something like that in with Mark Rudden, give or take. More? Okay.
Yeah.
Was better than what I thought in that case. His appointment with first. There you go. It was a penalty shootout, he says. There you go. It's a penalty shootout.
Penalty shootout doesn't count.
Yeah. I still saved the penalty, bro. So with the whole appointment thing, everyone was a little bit iffy. We did the whole show about that. Tat spoke about it. Josh gave us a big breakdown about Mark Rudden. Everyone knows the history in recent years and USB gate and all that sort of stuff, leaving Wellington for Western United, blah-de-blah, blah-de-blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we're 5-6 rounds into Mark Rudden, and we'll say, it's been mixed to say the least, but you listen to us every week, so you'll know exactly what we're saying. But this is what you lot have been telling us based on the question saying, how has the Mark Rudden appointment gone so far for you? Great syntax there, Nick. Good tweet, that one. WSW Animal says overachieved, no preseason, barely any time to train due to many midweek games. It's obvious our weakness is in the forwards, which see are recruited poorly, which is what you were saying, Steve. Marcella, and was a Rudden signing. Kanka was a Rudden call-up. Our best centre-back pairing since Alberto and Nikolai Topol-Stanley. They've been playing well together, I have to say.
That's a big call, eh? Best centre-back pairing since Alberto. Is that how bad our centre-backs have been for the last 2015-16? Wow. And you're probably right. When you think about who do we have since then?
I'm like, whoever actually been content with being centre-back pairing. We're still a little bit touch and go with Katrumbas and Reece Williams. And I said to you, imagine Mejias leaves. Is Marcella considered a visa player or is he an Australian?
I think he's Australian.
Well, that's fine. We can have the Aussie player. Imagine like a centre-back pairing of a fit Reece Williams and a fit Marcella as your centre-back pairing. Like that would be ideal, man. That would be ideal. You've got your wing backs already. Traore, he can kick on. You've got Aquilina. You've also got Tate Russell. that's not a bad shout. And you've also got Wilmering on the left as well when he's not out there, and the club's not reminding us he was once a ball boy for the club. That's great. Alex says he's been satisfied so far. Thinks if we recruit well for next season, things could go really well. Not sure what it'll be for the rest of the season though, which is a fair assessment.
Well, we're still in
Trevor.
It's just if we can get some firing up front. I'm surprised they didn't go for anyone in a January off season as like an attacker.
When do we ever go for anyone in January off season? We don't.
All we got was Machella, but his injury replacement. So when Reece
replaced, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
So they offer him something more than that, right?
Maybe. Trevor says, gone well. Players are starting to show his style, and it's a marked improvement. I like the hunger and drive he's instilled into the team. Yes, we ain't converting, but can't do much with current squad around that. I'd play Carluccio longer. Is that fair? Carluccio, would you play him in the forward line somewhere?
He's more, isn't he more midfielder? Him and Lapane as well has shown some good things when he's come on. It will get to the point, I think, when the season's gone and we have a few games left, those guys will get more minutes, and it'll probably be frustrating. That's when Swibble will get minutes when the season's gone, which is frustrating. But yeah, look, Kalucha is doing good stuff off the bench, and he might force his way in. If he's coming in the midfield, it's a packed midfield at the moment. You think Edward will be ahead of him? You got Ugarkovic, Bacchus, Antonis is there as well. It's very hard to get into that spot. But yeah, he's doing well, and this guy's a local boy too for the academy and all that sort of stuff. So
maybe if he hangs around, if one of the other boys disappear because Petrados is on loan, I think Antonis is on loan as well. Is that correct?
Petrados, I think Antonis is actually outright.
Okay, if Antonis is outright, then we can keep him on. Then that's fine. But he just needs to sort out his shorts business. I don't know whether he's got him up that high or if he wears small pairs for whatever I don't know what's going on Tezza, but you can let us know. JR says 6 out of 10. Rudin can actually be a good coach on game day. It doesn't get out coached early days, but heading in the right direction, which isn't hard. Yeah, well, the only way it's up for this team, is that right?
Yeah, well,
3-year deal.
Yeah, well, you better
deal.
Yeah, well, they tried to give him that under Popper, right? And he kind of reneged on the deal. He's coming a bit late.
Well, apparently, he's the only player contracted beyond next year. Well, that's saying something. That's it. We're going to build the squad around Antonis.
So that also says something about who's stepping up to who wants to stay, right? So if he's the only player contracted for next year, so then we could do this later on, obviously in the season. But who would you keep, and who's actually trying to step up and keep the spot? A bunch of young kids you'd keep, right? But then, man, half the visas. Which visa player would you keep?
That's a good question. What about Rodwell? What's Rodwell's story as well?
Well, if he wants to stay on 100K, I'll keep him. But I'm not paying him more than that because these guys played freaking 2.5 games or whatever it is.
We're getting a better deal out of him than what Perth are with Daniel Sturridge, that's for sure.
I haven't been keeping across that.
I don't know. I hope he found his barber though. Maurice B says, I think performances have been better, just execution that needs improvement, which is what we've basically summarized. Boz, need to have Mongrel in the field, something we have not had since Pop in the early days. Off-season is key, not totally sold yet. I think it's another fair assessment. Raza Supersonic, feels good to see the boys play with direction and adopting a fighting mentality. Speaking on that, I noticed, I mean, look, you can say you're a goal behind against Adelaide, you draw 1-1, and then you sort of win it like somewhere between halfway and the end of the match in the second half. Is that to you, Steve, us pushing forward with a bit of determination and a bit of balls, or is that Adelaide slacking off and us just having to find ourselves a lucky break?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Come on, man, be biased at least.
Yeah, but hang on. A year ago, we were saying the same thing with Robertson. He finally brought mentality back because we were like playing to the end, scoring goals in the 89th minute. We scored all our goals in the last 25 minutes, and we're always down. So I think it's a different type of mongrel that they're talking about here because we kind of talked about this on the Robertson that we had something that we haven't had for a while. Yeah,
it's got to be fight on the pitch,
and that's probably coming from Rudin screaming his head off at him when they do something wrong, and whereas Robertson didn't. So I think it's a little bit different. So the mentality was there a little bit last year, but I think it's there again. But it's a different type of mentality.
Hashtag mentality.
Yeah, again. But yeah, off season is key, which is again, it's frustrating to read because we've been saying that for the last 5 years. Off season is key. Off season is key. Signing is a key. It's like how many times, mate? And we got a new JT. We got a new JT. We got a new
A new
CEO in the off
JT.
season. So whether that makes a difference, I don't know. I don't think it's going to make too much difference to the football department if he's still run by the coach. Same shit.
Harley says it's been feeling like the only way is up, but these front three choices confuse me every time. Feel much more positive than the last of Robbo though. Do you feel a bit more confident now with the same players? As obviously, we've had some results in our favor. Obviously, a 2-0 win against Sydney, a 2-1 away. But then again, we've had some losses. Defeat to MacArthur, and
we've had some bad losses too. Like the MacArthur one's like a really poor performance. Probably the worst performance we've had in a long time.
After a derby win, no less.
I think where people are coming from here, Nick, is about they can see there's a bit of a structure and what the players kind of have a game plan. Whereas we talked about 8 weeks ago that what's the plan? Like when no one knew what the plan was.
No one knew what the plan is.
Now it's like, okay, they seem to be a bit more structured. They have a bit of an idea what they're doing, except for that final third is just rubbish. They're just going to sort that out and then we'll be okay. It'll be a bit more of a complete football team. And if we can sort that out in the next couple of weeks, we can get into the finals and then anything can happen, right? So,
well, anything can happen in the finals. So probably got to get there first. And finally, Tony Shalhoub memes. Shout out to Monk himself. Says just about clearing an insanely low bar. So, what is the low bar to clear then? What is it? Finishing top 8, trying to make top 6?
Oh, the low bar was Robertson and Ruden's just about clearing that.
It's already done. It's already done then.
He's clearing the low bar that was set by his predecessors.
It's already done. Well, these are the list of players care of West Sydney Football apparently off at the end of next season or whatever. It says Mehias released, Gordon released, Hemed released.
This is what he will do.
Agawa, you cut. Rodwell already offered a new deal, but who knows what's happening with his injury. So this is what he would do. Mehias, I think for me definitely would be going. Gordon, you probably say, go back to the Mariners or something, wherever you want to go. Hemed, I don't know about Hemed. Without Hemed, we really don't have a recognized, experienced striker. And when I say experienced, I don't mean like someone who's scoring 20 goals a season, but this guy's played football all over. Like, I think we still need someone who can actually provide some sort of, I don't know, what's the wankery term to use here? Guidance or some fairy word in there to make it all nice. And
if we can find about $8 million a year, or £8 million, sorry, we might be able to sign Dybala. So
he's might play for a new club. His contract's up at the end of the season as well at Juventus. Steve?
Oh, dude, this extension negotiation has been in my Twitter timeline for 4 years about Dybala's agents are meeting with Juve this weekend, and they come to an agreement. And every week for the last 4 years, and I'm not even exaggerating here, they've been talking about this extension clause. And now they've decided that they don't agree on the terms. So he's free. £8 million, bring him here. He can play 5 games because he'll be injured. But he will score things like he does for Juve. So it's fine.
I was gonna say, where do you think he's gonna end up? Is he gonna stay or is he gonna go somewhere else?
They're playing games and maybe he ends up staying, or he's been linked to Barca or Real or something.
Who knows, eh? I'll see what happens on that front there. But I mean, look, in saying that, it's time for the billionaire sausage maker to pull out a checkbook. Fat sausage chance on that one.
Well, look, Rudin got Diamante. Rudin got Diamante with United, right? So if we can get a player like that, obviously a bit younger, and you can build a team around that classic number 10 creative player, then you can have a okay striker in front of him, but this guy will create the chances and that guy will put him away. And the classic example I always remember is Juninho at Sydney FC with Brosk. Brosk was okay before that. Juninho never scored a goal, but Brosk became a freaking superstar because Juninho just kept giving him a ball in the platter and he just had to put it in the goal every single time. All you need is someone like that. And that guy will score goals. He'll create chances, score free kicks. You just need to find that player. Maybe I'll go through the list of the Italian squad and see who we can find. But so hopefully, maybe
hey, mate, you and I are enemies this Friday morning. Okay, keep that in mind.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We've
I don't
got
forget
the
about the game. I
qualifiers
forgot
happening.
I forgot the fact that it's your
I don't
well,
follow the Masso
we're in
team
that.
that often,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it is happening. It is a thing. But look, players aside and Rudin, whatever. Like, I mean, we can't really complain too much because we've won some games. We have seen some fight. You can see Rudin actually cares. He's up on the sidelines. He's yelling. He's rushing. I saw it on the weekend. It's what the 80th minute, whatever it was, and we're defending, and then we're on attack, and Rinner's just like, just arms heaving, just push up, just go forward, put the press on them because he really wants to get points on the board.
Oh hell yeah! Even though he got the extension to his contract, it's obviously he's on a clause in to make the finals. They might give him a pass if he makes it. It's a bonus. But no, the guy's from the West as well. He understands the club because he's good mates with Popeye. You can tell when he was commentating in the first year or so that he had inside knowledge and he was riding that wave as well. He knows what's required. And it's also his professional career on the line too, right? He's come in for a cleanup job. He needs to stamp, make put his little stamp on it. If he gets something out of this season, it will be a positive, but obviously he'll be judged on next year a lot more. And we'll be saying the same thing next year, Nick. How many weeks do you give him before he
Every year, every season, the first 4 to 5 weeks, how many results are gonna go our way? How long do we persist until we say, sorry, mate, no go for you? What's the term? Gel. We're waiting for the team to gel.
We're rebranding next year to Around the Revolving Door. So it's like I don't know anymore, man. It's like someone should pay us for this.
They really should. I really do think they should. They should definitely pay us for this. This is going to be the the new logo come next year. This is going to be the new logo.
Yeah, easy. Just
That's going to be the new logo.
Color scheme black and white, black and red will be fine.
Yep.
So West Indian Football is playing his Football Manager 2024 at the moment, and he's give Rudin a few years, win a couple trophies, off to Europe, and Ruben Zakovic could take over and get us. So
that's right. Zatkovic is now manager of Perth. That's right. I forgot about that.
Garcia got sacked, so
that's funny.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, they did last, so what'd you expect?
Yeah, they've had a run of home games as well, and he's not really producing much.
That too. Yep.
I know they've had it tough, but like you got to get something right. So, yeah,
it ain't happening. It's just not happening at all. Well, it was 2-1 away, and then a nice little 0-0. But coming up this Sunday, we are away to Melbourne Victory, who are currently playing right now and losing as it stands to Western United, who are leading the pack. And with this win, they will be outright first. Melbourne City, if they win against Brisbane, they will be first, but they're 1-1 as it stands. So, Steve, last time Victory came to town.
It's 2-1. They must have just scored.
This hasn't updated for me yet.
It's 2-1.
Hasn't updated for me yet. Let's go back. Anyways, we got Melbourne Victory. Nah, still says 1-0 on this thing. Anyways, we got Melbourne Victory away. We beat them when they came to us. Some would say it was a bit of a so-so victory, Popper coming back and all that, but we ended up winning 2-0. I forgot who scored first, and then I think Petrados put away a penalty after Kevala took down Abini, I think it was, if I remember correctly. And nice win. And in saying that, though, we are playing away, so I don't know. Do you have any hopes for this game? Again, another Sunday night match at 7 p.m. with the late kickoff. For the
late kickoff on a Sunday. I didn't get it. I was going to say we haven't won in Melbourne in like 4,000 years, but we actually have.
No, we beat them with
October 9th, 2019. Bacchus
Maya.
Yeah.
That was the 40-yard hit and Bacchus's top corner curler.
Yeah, he had a photo of my then 3-month-old baby the week before, and it was a good luck charm, and he scored a mad chip, and then he retired. So
that's right.
So yeah, we actually broke the streak of never winning in Melbourne for like 10 years. The fact that we got something from them last game, and Melbourne seems to be struggling a little bit since they won the FFA Cup. And they had that game in the ACL game, 5-4, whatever it was, in extra time or something. So yeah, it's interesting because Rudin and Pop are good mates. Can we do another smash and grab? It'll be perfect perfect opportunity for a smash and grab. This is the same day as what's happening with the RBB thing? RBB 10-year anniversary at Long Street
Yes.
in Smithfield. That's during
Yep.
the day, 11 to 3 or 10 to 3, whatever it is. And also you got a bunch of people going down for the game as well. It's always a big game, but the Sundays are really crap for people to travel. I last week I said we're going to get smashed by Adelaide. Now I'm thinking we can get something from this game. It depends which Wanderer shows up.
Well,
It
that's
all
the
comes
ultimate
up to that.
question. That's the ultimate question. Which
Who
team is going to
travels?
rock up?
Who travels? Don't. But they're playing. They're playing in Melbourne anyway, so they're playing at home, so they don't have to travel. But we've got a good week to prepare, and maybe we prepare better that way. That we had the week to prepare between the MacArthur and the first Adelaide game, and it looks like he got his tactics right, and smash and grab tactics. But anyway, I don't know.
Oh,
A
victory
draw would
equalized
be a good result, but a
1-1.
win would be good, preferred, I guess.
Yeah, you need the win. You definitely need the win. WSF, they tried late kickoffs on Sundays back in the showground, and with no Fox Sports to want Sunday night ratings, not sure why they brought them back. It's just a pain in the ass for people that are attending as well.
Oh, it makes no sense. They're doing like 4 games on a Saturday, then like 1 7 o'clock game on a Sunday. You could have made this Sunday's game that we play like at 6 o'clock or something. Like they're doing a late game to kick off for the heat, but there's not heat, mate. It's like it's raining.
Mate, it's chill now. Yeah, it's chill now. There's no heat anymore, bro. It's all chill.
Yeah,
It's all chill.
it's really late, and midweek games at 8 o'clock, whatever it was, the last midweek game that we had was just stupid. It's how do you have a midweek game at 8 o'clock? You're not going to get anyone going.
I don't know, but that's the next match. Sunday, 27th of March, 7 p.m. kickoff. Steve, what do you reckon for this game? We're going to take something away from Melbourne?
I hope so. I'm actually positive this time going into it. I hope we get something.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see us going there taking a draw. I just don't know if Victory are going to be that little bit more fired up for this one, considering they're at home. They've got their home fans behind them. We had our fans behind us, and the whole Popper thing isn't maybe a factor at play. He can just do his own thing. I don't think it was when they came here, but a lot of people like to make bits and pieces out of it. And apparently, it's going to rain on Sunday.
Of course, it is. At the moment, I think they equalize, so they're still 5 points behind us, in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So a win would be very good for us to getting closer and closer to the top 6. So they're 6 on 24 points. We're on 19. We need to win, man. A draw's not good enough. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
if we want to salvage, we got to win these games.
Think about it. I mean, MacArthur in 4th on 25 points, having played the same amount of games. I mean, they're just 6 points. We say 6 points like it is a lot, but if MacArthur drop, 2 matches and they don't win 2 games and we do win 2 games, then we're up there, provided Sydney don't do anything and Melbourne don't do anything either. But as long as we can just keep on doing our thing, get some points here and there, get 3 points, get 1 point. So long as you don't get 0 points, I think obviously that's a positive. But because we have other teams around us as well, like the Mariners who have a game in hand, Wellington have like 3 games in hand. So they're the teams you got to look out for.
MacArthur will drop points. They're like Swiss cheese, their defense, except when they play us. They're destroyed by Mariners.
Yeah. Ethan says, who's going to score our pen against Victory, Dimi or Hamed?
You expecting us to get another penalty? I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm not surprised about this many penalties this year, to be honest. They give us all the penalties when it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, man, it's just funny.
Years ago. Dimi or Hamed, depends who's on the pitch. Maybe what if they're both not on the pitch? Who takes it? Marcello probably takes it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm seeing something like
Margush will step up for his first goal. That'll make WSF happy. Send the keeper up. Off you go. Steve, that pretty much wraps it up. A nice, relative quick one here. Easy 45 minutes. So we went through our useless and not legitimate 2-1 away goals win against Adelaide. I don't know if this is the first time we've had a team back-to-back in respective rounds, but that was weird. And now we look to Melbourne Victory in a few days' time. And anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
No, I think I'm done. I'm done 45 minutes.
That's done.
The game.
Perfect. That's it. Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. We do go live when we do our shows. Also, follow us on all socials aroundtheblock.com.au. Check out the Linktree link in our Twitter at ATBWSW, Facebook, Instagram, when we decide to post every now and again. And of course, on your favorite podcast app for the audio form. I am Nick Daddy Steve. Until next time.